on Chronicle.
So it's a huge event. It's the Olympics for horses.
A world-class equestrian event.
The world is coming to Western North Carolina.
Drawing hundreds of thousands of people from across the globe.
It is very exciting to have the entire world in our backyard.
And certainly Tryon's a magical place for horses.
Bringing Tryon's horse country to an elite level.
But change your lead.
This is the chance for us to step up to shine.
A legacy of excellence.
Oh, Tryon has a history of horses second to none in the world.
And when you're up close and you're seeing some of the best riders in the whole world, it's nothing like it.
Now on Chronicle, World Equestrian Games.
Good evening and welcome to Chronicle. I'm Jane Robileau. The World Equestrian Games, WEG. This is where 68 countries all come together with 641 of the world's top equestrian athletes, all to compete in what's called the Olympics for horses. And the fantastic thing for our area is it's happening right here. This is the Tryon International Equestrian Center. Now we have to tell you that getting these games here was a lot marvel and a little bit miracle as well. It was not really easy to get the games here, and then when they first kicked off, the heat was a problem for some of the competitions. And then this weekend, as you remember, Tropical Depression Florence came across here and dumped a lot of rain into this area. Some of these games had to be rescheduled, some had to be canceled. The Equestrian Center's chief CEO, Sharon Decker, says that they had to just roll with the punches.
Well, it's always a disappointment when you have to manage a change in events or alter the schedule, because it alters everyone's schedule, right? But you know, when a storm like this happens, what's turned out to be a really heavy rain event, but prior to making the decision, we felt like it would be more significant. You have to make those judgments.
And as you can see, once the storm moved on, the sun came out, and as you can see from our exclusive look from Sky 4, these games carried on, and they brought a big undertaking for Polk County. Now, to put it all into perspective, the county of Polk County only has about 20,000 residents, so the task of hosting more than 250,000 people was quite an undertaking, but it's all been of great value to the people who live here, the people who call this area horse country home.
Here in horse country, if you look around, there are so many people that earn their living from horses, whether they've ever ridden or had their foot in a stirrup before.
Grooms, breeders,
Good, just stay still.
trainers and coaches, horse acupuncturists, just a few of the 200 or so occupations supported by horses.
And that is the reason that we are now seeing such a huge draw for horses in the areas, because it's authentic to who we are.
With more horses than humans in Tryon, the local technical college realized the growing need for experts in horse care. Isothermal's new program helped Kimberly Wilkinson realize her professional dream.
I think it opened up great opportunities, getting to do something that I love, and that is to be around horses.
Horses supply a kind of magic.
When you're galloping to a jump and your horse is leaping over and you have to release those reins over that horse's, there's nothing like it. It's like flying.
It's a special something that knits this community into a warm and welcoming dot on the map.
We have a reputation of being very friendly and warm and inclusive, and because we have that reputation that preceded us, we take that very seriously.
And the people here are just so supportive, and they're just so relaxed, and they welcome you into their arms, and it's just, I love it. So
this combination of blessings caught the attention of developer Mark Bellissimo.
But I think we're going to have a smile on our face.
He fell in love with the area and 4 years ago created a team of partners to build the Tryon International Equestrian Center.
When Mark Bellissimo came in with the plans for the Tryon International Equestrian Center, it offered us an opportunity to grow. Grow as a community, grow in our talent, grow in our economics, and our presence in the world.
It's been a remarkable addition to our family business because so much excitement comes with the Equestrian Center.
To the next in the order.
And the center became the footprint for attracting the World Equestrian Games.
What WEG does is it puts us into a mode where the world is coming to Western North Carolina.
In Polk County, horses are sport, pleasure, and good business. And with the World Equestrian Games, the secret is now out.
This is the center. This is where everybody should come if they want to come to the best place in the world.
So that's interesting, Brad. So we're likely to see in the next Olympic Games some of the horses that we're seeing competing here. Thank you very much. Now, when you look up in the stands, too, you're likely to see some of the fans that may be at the next Olympics. They're in the stands cheering on their horse's home country. John Lyon takes a look at what that's all about.
Fun times! In vaulting, the horse is doing their thing and you're doing your thing, which you're basically dancing on the horse, and people do flips and stands and jumps, and it's just incredible.
You can never get enough of ponies.
It's power and beauty, and it's kind of a dance on the horse, and it has to be with the horse together.
I came all the way from Europe just to watch this.
The expertise of the riders and the beauty of the horses.
Brings the world right here to us, and you get to see some of the best riders and horse people in the world.
I see the most experienced individuals, super great riders, and I really want to be like them.
It definitely makes it special, the fact that it just involves such a beautiful animal.
It's just beautiful harmony. It's like music.
I've enjoyed all the efforts people have given for me to come here and have the time of my life. I've enjoyed it.
And it has been just amazing to see all the different disciplines that you can see here. Some of them that you don't get to see at the Olympics, like vaulting and that Western reining, and even one that's called combined driving. That's coming up on Sunday. It's kind of crazy. It's something that people need to pay attention to fall in love with horses maybe a little bit more. Now, clearly, it takes years to host a games like this with people coming in from all over the world. But coming up next on Chronicle, we're going to tell you why these games had just 18 months to prepare. Stay with us. Like the Olympics, the World Equestrian Games is held every 4 years and in a different country. And it usually takes about 5 years to do all of the planning and make those games come together. But Gabrielle Komorowski tells us why these games in Mill Spring, North Carolina had just 18 months to prepare.
On the day of the opening ceremony of the World Equestrian Games, crews were still working on this 3-story building.
You know, that building probably should have taken 18 months. We've done it in about 6 months. Not 100% complete, but very close.
Mark Bellissimo says this building and others had to go up in record time because they didn't have a lot of time to get ready.
The 2018 World Equestrian Games were supposed to be held in Quebec, Canada, but 2 years ago, the host city of Bromont announced that it could no longer host because of financial hardships. With no host city, the games were almost canceled.
We stepped up and said, you know what, we've got a great facility. Let's take the next 18 months and prepare the best we can to make sure that the World Equestrian Games continue.
Bellissimo, who played a key role in opening the Tryon International Equestrian Center in Polk County just a few years ago, helped to secure the center in Little Mill Spring, North Carolina, as the host of the global event. Stockholm, Sweden, Rome, Italy, and Normandy, France have hosted the games in the past.
And now in the 2018 version is in Mill Spring, population 2,000.
To prepare for extra traffic, the North Carolina Department of Transportation bumped up a major road project, creating new ramps for the I-26 US 74 interchange.
This project was going to get done 3 years from now. NCDOT said, hey, let's help out the folks in this neck of the woods, get it done as soon as possible.
Our cameras were at the Tryon International Equestrian Center in 2015 as crews were building the stables, rental cabins, and riding arenas. The growth has not stopped. For the World Equestrian Games, more structures and riding arenas were built.
It's become much more than a job for me. I mean, it's really an opportunity for me and our partners to really reshape a community.
He says the games created at least 1,000 construction jobs, and hundreds of people now have permanent jobs here. And long after the 13 days of competition are over, he says the structures that were built for the World Equestrian Games will continue to be used for the 40 weeks of other competitions that are held here throughout the year.
The impact that this venue has had on Western North Carolina has been significant. There are hundreds and hundreds of people moving to the area to really see and experience what I think will become ground zero for sort of equestrian sport in this country.
Growth moving forward at a gallop in a small town that's now had global exposure.
And coming soon, people who want to live near this Tryon International Equestrian Center will have some pretty nice options available to them. There's a new housing and condo complex that's already underway. It's called Tryon Village. That's expected to be completed sometime next year. Now, also, these World Equestrian Games are set next to be put on in 2022, but so far there's no word on just where that host country or town will be. All of this has been very exciting for the people of Polk County. They're excited about hosting an international crowd of this magnitude, 250,000 people to maybe even 500,000 people. To make all of that happen, though, multiple agencies had to come together months in advance and coordinate their plans. Amanda Crawford spoke with those about everything they had to do to keep the people and the horses here secure.
You see on the scoreboard right now. This has been the biggest planned event Polk County's ever seen.
It's a plan months in the making, how to keep hundreds of thousands of people safe in a county that's never hosted an event like this before.
So when you bring in an event that could possibly be up to 200,000 or higher, it's a real challenge for the county to prepare for it.
The World Equestrian Games require a complex security system. Bobby Arledge is the Emergency Management Director for Polk County.
Just all the highway patrol people, SBI, FBI, local agencies, local EMS, state EMS.
He's been working with teams across the country to keep everyone safe at this event.
The spectators will have to go through metal detection and be wanted if something comes up that flags us.
Mike Cook is in charge of emergency services at the Equestrian Center.
But we want to be able to provide that level of security to people that when they come in, they know that people are checked. We have a no weapons policy on the grounds.
In case of emergency or injury, there's a mobile hospital unit on the grounds.
Med 1 is a one-of-a-kind facility in the U.S. They're equipped to deal with mass casualty situations. But what makes them so unique is this room. They could do surgery right on site.
In addition to that, they have medical teams that will be walking in and through the crowds observing and for a rapid response to somebody who may be in trouble.
Each volunteer at the event has gone through a background check. Even the animals have certain security clearance.
I was interested to know and learn more about horses than I've ever known, that these horses actually have passports themselves.
Cook says there are security cameras throughout the facility and undercover officers. They also use canines to keep the area safe.
We've taken canine teams through. They have searched the facility and then they go into lockdown, and that's a normal procedure for all large events.
Throughout the venue, resources will come from outside the county. Arledge tells me local agencies will be able to focus on their own communities.
All of our fire departments and EMS agencies, rescue squad, are actually beefing up their volunteer base and their paid staffs while this is going on, so there will not be a delay in response to the citizens of our county.
He says they've spent 18 months preparing for these games, and he's confident they're ready for anything.
With this going on, we've got a lot of challenges we've got to overcome, so it's been a lot of lessons learned, a lot of work with a lot of different agencies you usually don't work with.
Many are already looking to the future and say moving forward, they're prepared to host even more guests for events like this in Polk County.
In the future, they're not done building out yet. So, I mean, they've still got a lot of hotels to build, a lot of buildings to still be built. So I think this right here is just the start of things, what we're going to see in the future out here.
Skillful and coordinated preparations that will also hopefully pave the way for those future projects. Now, coming up next on Chronicle, athletes here represent countries from more than 60 different countries all over the world. Question is, how do those big four-legged athletes get from their home countries to right here? We'll show you some impressive logistics coming up next. Hundreds of horses have come here from all over the world, almost every continent, to compete in these elite equine games. And transporting those elite athletes has taken a lot of logistics. Our Amanda Crawford explains just how the world's biggest airlift project really works.
The journey begins across the world.
It's a pretty slick operation, but obviously it takes a lot of planning.
Hundreds of horses gather in Belgium, ready to compete in North Carolina.
We've got a total of just about 500 horses going from Liège to Tryon, so it's quite a logistical undertaking.
Pete & Bloodstock is a company that specializes in transporting horses internationally.
Let's have suitcases. Juma, your passport, please.
They've been planning this project for years. The horses arrive the night before, so they're well rested. Then they're loaded into their stalls.
The planes we're using are Emirates B777 freighters. So in effect, it's a tube with no seats in it.
It's about a 9-hour flight. Vets travel with the animals.
They have access to hay and water throughout the flight, and our guys continue to check them throughout.
Even though the horses are from different countries, different teams, athletes say during that flight, everyone works together to make sure the animals stay healthy.
It is a long journey, and for the people that is going with the horse is a big responsibility, but it's okay. You must try to feed and give as much water as they want.
It's very much a team spirit when we're flying. The competition doesn't start until they get to the venue.
After landing at GSP, the horse trailers are carefully unloaded and lowered from the plane directly onto trucks. The horses never step onto South Carolina soil.
And then they travel under police escort from the Greenville airport into Tryon.
Finally, the competitors arrive at the Tryon International Equestrian Center. But there's one more step before they settle in.
The horses go into USDA quarantine, so they are held within a quarantine facility for 48 hours.
The horses must pass a blood test, then they're cleared for competition. Their careful, detailed journey finally complete.
Okay, you see how technical that is. Now imagine this. There were 23 different flights coming in here from Europe, many of those originating in different continents, and there were 11 flights from South America, all bringing in these elite equine athletes. Now these games and this tremendous equestrian center which hosts the games have really created a big demand for more jobs in the horse industry here. That means new teaching opportunities for local technical colleges. As Gabrielle Komorowski shows us, the new curriculum has already turned into jobs.
We're going to use this one to get all the shavings off.
Students are brushing up on their horse knowledge, learning how to take care of them and be safe around them.
We don't want to just jump behind her. We want to keep a hand on her so she knows where we're at the entire time.
The barn at Marydale Farm in Columbus, North Carolina has become a classroom for isothermal community college students.
We design our programs to meet that industry need. And then ask her to pick her foot up.
Kim Wazisko, the dean of Isothermal's Business Sciences Department, says she saw a need when the Tryon International Equestrian Center was built, bringing more people and horses to the area.
Okay, now we can go around and do this other side.
So in 2015, the Western North Carolina school began offering equine courses, teaching horse grooming, health and nutrition, and also farm management and bookkeeping, among other things. Typically, more than half of the class time is spent outside of a traditional classroom.
More than 150 people have graduated from these programs in the past 3 years and gone on to find jobs at the Tryon International Equestrian Center, local tack and feed stores, an equine hospital, and even right here at this farm.
I love the horses. I love the people. I love outside.
Kimberly Wilkerson completed Isothermal's Groom Elite program last year, and she's now the barn manager here at Marydale Farm.
I think it opened up great opportunities. Getting to do something that I love, and that is to be around horses.
Mariana Heyman, who owns Marydale Farm, says she's grateful for the education these courses provide.
It's difficult to take someone who loves horses but has no background in how to behave around horses. It becomes a dangerous situation then. For us, isothermal offered an answer to a safety issue and to an employment issue.
Isothermal isn't the only local school using the Equestrian Center as a teaching tool. Chef Austin Kraft and more than a dozen students like Miranda Bryan from the Culinary Institute of the Carolinas at Greenville Technical College are preparing meals every day of the games.
It's going to be from 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 p.m. and we're producing breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Feeding the media and VIP areas, serving hundreds.
I love the adrenaline. That's why I love cooking.
They're working side by side with the staff at the Tryon International Equestrian Center.
It's just one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that gives them the chance to do different things than what they're normally doing in the classroom.
Students are getting college credit for this real-world work.
To actually be thrust into these long shifts, hot kitchens, producing food for 500 people plus a day, it's something that we can't replicate.
The World Games and the facility hosting these games cooking up new opportunities.
Being able to provide for such an important event means a lot to me, and I'm very excited.
For the future workforce to learn.
There's a beautiful culture here. The people work together, and by working together, we grow as a community.
And there are even more horse-related programs in the works at Isothermal College, Community College. They plan to offer therapeutic horsemanship, and they're going to have a 2-year degree in equine science. And pay attention because that one starts next year. Now, coming up on Chronicle, shop owners and small businesses throughout this county have seen direct economic impact from these games. We're going to show you how they got prepared for all of these people coming in. And now let's take a look from above with this exclusive look at the Tryon International Equestrian Center, home of the World Equestrian Games. Hundreds of thousands of people are here from all over the world to come to these World Equestrian Games. To put it into perspective just a little bit, that's about 100 times the population of the town of Tryon, North Carolina. Amanda Crawford caught up with some local shop owners ahead of these games to see what they did to prepare.
This quiet little town is now center stage for a major global event.
We have folks from New Zealand to people from Ohio.
The World Equestrian Games bringing hundreds of thousands of people.
We're booked for the entire games.
To a town where just 1,500 live. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for business owners like Kevin Parker.
Well, in the last couple days, we've had deliveries.
He and his wife expanded the Green Life Inn to make room for more guests.
We wanted to get those done before the games, so it's kind of compressed the timeline. We just got them done sooner than what we originally planned.
The town of Tryon and the surrounding area could see millions of dollars boosting their local economy, so shops everywhere are getting ready.
It's hard because we don't know exactly what to anticipate, so we're plan for the worst, hope for the best type thing.
Parker also owns Tryon Coffee House Co-op.
We've increased inventory of our different coffees. We have more staff. We're open more hours.
Right now, this is a pretty popular spot to come grab a cup of coffee, but they're gearing up to do 2 months worth of business inside of just 2 weeks.
Across town, business owners are making similar preparations. Tryon's leader of downtown development is leading the charge.
Everyone's really excited, a little bit nervous because we've never had anything this big come to the area.
She's been working with the Polk County Tourism Director to capitalize on this opportunity.
It's putting us on the map. In a way, we've been a little bit unknown compared to some pretty large attractions around the area.
They see each person attending the games as a chance to market their community.
And so the sidewalks here have been completed within the past year, and the streets have all been completed.
Which means they need each shop, restaurant, and street to be in top condition.
This is the chance for us to step up, to shine, and now to be a factor in people's plans as they visit the area, no matter what their interests are.
They're even working with tech experts to develop an app that shows off Tryon's history.
And we have some walking tours to go throughout the historic areas of downtown, and some audio tours, especially about the birthplace of Nina Simone and the horse country that's historically in this area.
They're counting on places like the Coffee House Co-op to make visitors feel at home.
We want them to stay here and accommodate the food needs, the recreation needs, the touristy antiquing needs.
As Parker puts the finishing touches on both his businesses, he's confident his quiet little town can make a big impression.
When people are packing up and pulling out on the very last day, what do you want to be running through their minds?
That they can't wait to get back.
And this really did give incentive to Tryon's local leaders to make some additions to their website. They're asking everyone from now on to use the hashtag #ExploreTryon and actually to come up and explore Tryon. And also that walking app that Amanda just talked about, they're going to keep using that even when these games go home. Well, one of Tryon's oldest and really most beautiful homes, Maryland's Melrose Inn, was very excited about all of the business that was going to come her way as a result of these games. But 1 week before the opening ceremonies, her inn burned down. We talked with owner Marilyn Doaney just days after the fire. This is video from that day. The 25,000 square foot bed and breakfast built back in 1889, and it had just been renovated for these games. But they think that it was a possible electrical issue that sparked a blaze and ended it all. Here's now Brennan McDavid with more from the day the inn was destroyed.
The 25,000 square foot structure crackling as it collapsed.
It was no time at all that the flames were coming out of all the front windows and began coming out the side windows.
The Tryon Fire Department responded around 9:30 a.m. on September 6th and immediately called for backup.
Because of the age of the building and the construction of the building, we were entirely certain that we had a very, very heavy fire.
And he was right. Chief Jeffrey Tennant says it was too dangerous for firefighters to go inside.
The building would have collapsed on them. There's a possibility that would have happened.
So they sprayed from the outside while the fire burned through the roof and all of Marilyn Duaney's possessions.
Over 1,000 quilts are gone. 87,000 pounds of my books, every piece of art I've ever invested in.
Every morning there's coffee out on the porch. Every evening there's wine, and it's a gathering place for a lot of people, and it's just devastating for her.
An emotional and financial loss as Marilyn was preparing to house guests during the World Equestrian Games.
I'm a caregiver. I don't really know what I'm going to do.
One thing she does know is she's not alone. Neighbors offering her food, clothes, and a place to stay.
It's amazing. I've always had to do everything alone. So this is a huge opportunity for me to learn to say thank you.
It was just heartbreaking for this entire community, but Marilyn tells us that so many people have reached out to her. She's being well taken care of, and she's just glad that nobody got hurt. She had also spent years and years, she says, decorating all 19 bedrooms in that home. Well, this area, as you can tell, is rich with history, and much of that is rooted in horse stories. Coming up, we're going to show you just how far back that history actually goes and how it's contributed to the horse culture that everyone enjoys today. And as we go to this break, take a look at these beautiful pictures from Sky 4, this exclusive live look at the home of the 2018 World Equestrian Games in Mill Spring, North Carolina. This is horse country. Okay, maybe that's a little bit obvious with the international attention focused right here, but historians say that long before America was even a country, this was horse country even back then. They say this is where the hooves beat with the heart of the land. Locals boast that their land has known this sound since 1540, when Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto first moved through.
And his diaries show that he came through Polk County and Rutherford County. He brought 200 horses with him on 13 ships. And so some of those horses probably got loose along the way.
Today, this area, known as Tryon Horse Country, actually encompasses 5 counties in North and South Carolina. The horses and the weather are the draw.
People from all over the country, and particularly in the north, would come down here for the winters back in the day. So it's got a lot of rich history here.
Tryon, we like to say, got put on the map as horse country in 1917, and that was our lucky day.
That's when Carter Brown came to town to escape Michigan winters. He founded the Pinecrest Inn and got busy with his true passion.
He founded the Tryon Riding Hunt Club, which is still going strong today. He founded the Blockhouse Steeplechase. He founded the Tryon Hounds. He founded the Tryon Horse Show, which is in its 91st or 2nd year.
Carter Brown was also instrumental in founding a civilian equestrian team to compete in the Olympic Games. The Olympic equestrian team had always come from the U.S. Cavalry, but it was disbanded in 1948.
The candidates for the team came here in January of 1956, and they stayed here for 3 months and trained and trained and trained and trained. And the community opened their homes for all of these people that came here for that.
The new team trained at Harmon Field. Jacqueline and Willis Kuhn were two of the sponsors of the Olympic team and very instrumental in growing the horse country culture.
And she invited area children to come here on Saturday mornings, and she gave them riding lessons. And not only did she give them riding lessons, but she bought their riding apparel.
A compassionate and welcoming community built around horses.
Hey, buddy.
A culture of kindness nurtured to this day. From hosting the world's most comprehensive equine competitions to boasting 250 miles of pleasure trails on private land. These fox hunting paths now secured for future generations of horse lovers, ensuring this will always be horse country.
We have a reputation of being very friendly and warm and inclusive, and because we have that reputation that preceded us, we take that very seriously. And so when people move in, we embrace them.
And Libby Johnson tells us that these 4 trail riding organizations have a combined 250 miles of trails. It would take you weeks to ride the entire thing. That's something very, very special because it's all on private land, and it shows you how the people of horse country are working hard to preserve what they have here. Now, coming up next on Chronicle, a dressage rider who is the first from his country to qualify for these World Equestrian Games. But around here, they call this guy a local. One of the dressage riders has made history here. He is the first competitor from his country to actually qualify for the World Equestrian Games. He's from Ecuador. But as Gabrielle Komorowski tells us, he and his horse are competing as locals.
That sound means it's time to dance.
My dancing partner, okay, we go to have fun. Toma.
The dressage movements are smooth with names like piaffe and pirouette.
Oh yeah.
The twists and turns look elegant and difficult.
How do you do that?
Partnership.
It's a partnership between a man born in Ecuador and a horse named Chardonnay.
He knows it. He's so cute, huh?
Julio Mendoza and Chardonnay have competed around the world, and this month the world stage has arrived just a few miles away from their home.
Yeah, it's only 10 minutes for me.
Julio is the first dressage rider from Ecuador ever to qualify for the World Equestrian Games. Dressage is in his blood.
I started riding when I was very, very, very young.
He is a 4th-generation rider and grew up on the family farm watching his father and grandfather ride.
My daddy said that by the time that I was 3 years old, I was already riding a pony around the field.
He also taught dressage in Ecuador. 12 years ago, he met his wife Jessica, who was in the country for college.
I was only supposed to be there for a year, but ended up we fell deeply in love and got married, and then I ended up living there for about 3 years.
Jessica says dressage isn't as popular in Ecuador as it is here, and it wasn't very profitable.
We'd get paid with chickens or with tires, not always money. So I mean, it was a little difficult to make a living at times.
So they moved to the U.S. in 2007, first living in Maryland. Then they fell in love with this farm in Columbus, North Carolina in 2016.
I love it because everybody loves dressage here.
In the ring at the World Equestrian Games, Julio is a local.
I'm not only representing Ecuador, but I'm representing Landron, Tryon, okay, North Carolina, okay, it's because I live here and the community giving me a big support.
When Julio isn't riding, he's still teaching. I asked what beginners to the sport need to keep in mind.
You try to keep it all the time on a straight line.
A straight line.
You always look cute, you always look beautiful, okay? smile, okay, have fun.
Have fun. I may not be doing a pirouette on a horse anytime soon, but this was fun. And Julio hopes all of this fun impresses the judges. What does it mean for you to be able to compete in the World Equestrian Games?
You know what? It's been a dream coming true.
Julio has more dreams. To keep traveling the world, dancing with Chardonnay, and hopefully heading to the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo.
Hey, Baba.
And to keep enjoying each other.
Oh, such a handsome boy.
And the ride.
Good boy.
It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Well, Julio competed last week and he finished 58 out of 77. But Jessica Mendoza tells us that Julio was the second highest placed rider from the entire continent of South America. Something to be very proud of. Coming up on Chronicle, what these games and what this world-class equestrian center here mean for the future of horse country. Welcome back to Chronicle World Equestrian Games. There are 3 more days of competition before closing ceremonies, and I need to know if it's going to cool off at all for these people here. It's been really, really hot. But we're not going to complain because at least there hasn't been any rain. Let's turn to meteorologist Chris Justice for a look. Chris, I know that fall is just a few days away, but can you turn on the air conditioning?
You know what, Jane, I was thinking about all the people coming here from all over the world thinking we're going to the North Carolina mountains. Oh, it's going to feel like fall. Well, it has felt more like the middle of summer than fall, and it will be no different as we go into this weekend here. Muggy conditions as we head through Friday, hot on Saturday, 89. And then Sunday, mostly sunny with 87 degrees. Now, there is some hope down the road. Unfortunately, the Equestrian Games will be over with, but cold air does finally arrive to the Carolinas as we go into next weekend. Temperatures will actually be below average for a change. You know, normally this time of the year, our highs should be around 80 degrees. Our lows should be around 59. We have been so above that here lately, and we will eventually get there. The 4-day looks like this, 88 degrees as we go through Friday. The first official day of fall is on Saturday, and then we introduce a chance for some thunderstorms. A frontal boundary begins to head our way, and that will give us a better chance for some thunderstorms, and eventually it cools us down big time heading into next weekend. Back to you, Jane.
Cools us down sounds great. Thank you so much, Chris. Well, the 100 years of horse sense that this area has cultivated has been a really great foundation for getting these games. And this Tryon International Equestrian Center is certain to be the epicenter of growth for the next 100 years.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Kelly Coker is an equestrian coach.
A little more.
An experienced competitor.
That worked, that worked.
And he breeds and trains show horses.
They're perfect.
He and his wife Susie moved their family business to Tryon Horse Country 20 years ago. It was a friendly place, a good place to raise their children, and offered something unique to their business.
For me as a professional, working professional, is what I call the last of the 8 to 5 horse communities. And that's what brought me here.
For this stable, Blockhouse Sport Horses, the Tryon International Equestrian Center, and the international attention that it's brought to this area has been a game changer.
It's cut down on my clients' cost and my cost because I'm here at home getting everything I need that I used to have to go travel 20 weeks a year to do. Right up at it.
Emma Burnell has a bright future in equestrian sport.
And pressure.
I would love to become a pro someday and compete in FEI events, maybe even eventually be able to compete in the World Equestrian Games.
Steady 5, steady.
Blockhouse Sport Horses could offer Emma the right coaching, stable, and lifestyle.
Oh, good for you, good.
So she and her family chose to move here from Florida.
Up here, having the Tryon International Equestrian Center is just amazing because I get to show every weekend during the summer, and then we have the spring circuit and the fall circuit, so I won't have to miss as much school.
Future athletes of the World Equestrian Games may someday come from right here in Tryon Horse Country. And her dad's going to be competing? And even some of the four-legged athletes.
My husband and I are so excited because we have a little filly that was just born in May. Come
introduce yourself.
But she is the baby of this fabulous stallion that is going to be in the World Equestrian Games.
Throughout the world, everybody knows about the horses of Tryon.
The Pack family has had a great deal to do with Tryon's place on the map with horse people. Gerald and his wife Betsy were married in the 70s and helped build the horse industry here. Their sons, Louis and Stephen, carry on the family tradition. It all began when Gerald was just a boy.
I was approximately 12 years old when the first Olympic civilian team was formed here at Tryon at Harmon Field. I remember that all the horses were big and beautiful and the people rode them really well. I was just totally flabbergasted and amazed.
The Pack family agrees that the Olympic team forming here in 1956 put Tryon on the national horse map. And these World Equestrian Games have ushered in Phase 2, the international stage.
But now the world has been here. Now the world sees what we have to offer right here in this small community.
I mean, that's the biggest thing that we could ever ask for. It's like having the Super Bowl 7 miles down the street. Like it's very good. It's a very good thing for us and for the industry and for Tryon. And
these World Equestrian Games have ushered in the international era. They've strengthened the local economy, and the venue will be the place where dreams are launched.
So it's pretty impressive for the next round of riders to go into those rings after the World Games are finished to be, hey, I'm the next rider after the gold medalist was just pinned in this ring.
You never know, that little kid that's 12 years old could be something in the horse world.
And Gerald Pack tells me that it's been so special for him as a little kid to see that first civilian equestrian team come here, that Olympic team, and then now, as a grown man with 2 sons in the business, to be able to see these World Equestrian Games right here. And of course, we'll have our eye on the stars of the future who may be competing right here. And I want to remind you, there are still 3 more days of competition that you can come out and enjoy. There's such excitement in the air here. And as we say goodnight to you from Western North Carolina, we urge you to keep the people who've been affected by Hurricane Florence from both Carolinas in your prayers. And tomorrow we're going to offer you an opportunity to extend a hand to help them. WYFF4 will have a telethon tomorrow for hurricane relief. We're partnering with the American Red Cross. So be sure to join us tomorrow all day on WYFF4. For now, thank you so much for watching Chronicle World Equestrian Games. Good night. I'm Jane Robelo.